Hello, and welcome to the probably second to last for now of these crazy to produce MMO videos about free-to-play MMOs to help narrow your choices down a little bit in the vastly overpopulated market of new school actiony MMOs, free-to-play, all that nonsense. This is Raiderz. Raiderz with a Z, of course, because how else would you spell it, clearly? And I should probably put my UI back on. There we go. Alright, Raiderz. This is actually being published here by Perfect World, which you may know as doing lots of things like Star Trek Online and some other cool stuff. I'm going to gather this. First thing you might notice, besides my fabulous armor, is that the game is really good looking. Ooh, silver. The game is very good looking indeed for an MMO, especially a free-to-play one. The texture quality on everything is really nice. I know that's kind of an odd thing to start with, but I mean, really, stuff looks pretty good, especially your characters and stuff, even though, yeah, this armor and stuff, it's a little flamboyant, but it's like the best armor available for me right now, so I'm gonna wear it. I just crafted it from some parts, as well as this staff, which is also pretty cool, and, yeah. So, welcome to Raiderz. Raiderz, you may have seen some of it before. It's weird because I think it got lost under some, oh, it's a Terra clone, kind of things like that, even though it's not really. And we're going to be going into that a little bit more, but for right now, I'm going to be walking towards the Ringot Village area because I have some quests there. I also have this giant flightless bird. This one right here. Go Moa! Yeah. What was speed? Increased by 20%. And what is this? This is dismount, I would assume. Euro, and that is disco dance. Disco dance? Really? What? Why? No, whatever. We're just gonna... Okay, then. I think we can get back to, what we were... I don't know. Anyway, yes. There are mounts, and I have one. Ooh, a chest. I kind of want to gather that. We'll deal with it later. Alright. This area you're seeing right now is one of the first large areas you're going to be questing in for a while. This is the Terrace Plain. This is after you get to Ingen, which is sort of the big hub city thingy-ma-deal. And right now I'm going to another location, that would be the Ringot Village area, where I've got some quests and I have been questing for the past couple of levels. I'm level 14 right now, I am a sorcerer, and as soon as I get in here we'll explain how the whole class system, or lack thereof, works. Also, there's an arrow in my bird's butt. That's not good. This game doesn't actually have classes per se. Yeah, you pick a sort of specialization, I guess you could say. You pick a spec out of the main four, but you don't have to rigidly stick to it. And, yeah. Alright, here we go. Bing! Portal thing. I really need to complete a certain quest so I can upgrade my bird. There are better mounts. This one's still pretty cool, though. Also, it matches me, which is interesting. Okay. Here we are in Ringot Village. Just make sure I get close to this thing. This is where you will revive when you die if you don't feel like using a revival slip of paper thingy, which I have 3 of. Novice Charm of Life. Yes. They're also on a 30-minute cooldown, so you can only use one every 30 minutes. This game is actually quite difficult, in my opinion. In a good way, it's a good thing. Alright, so classes. Here's how this works. When you first make your character, you can choose one of these 4 thingies. There's Defender, which is your sword and board, almost kind of paladin-y. There is Berserker, which is, I mean, it's a Berserker, Barbarian, Warrior, you know, two-handed stuff. Cleric, which is another, it's a mix between a paladin and, like, a healer sort of thing. And a Sorcerer, which is, you know, the mage, the black mage. Lots of fire and ice. And this is what I chose. However, this doesn't necessarily change what I can equip once I get there. As a sorcerer, I can use a one-handed sword and staff, and I also wear, like, cloth and leather armor. Mostly cloth is the best stuff for me. But as you can see, when you put points into these things called masteries will unlock. So the first 5 points you put into this tree will unlock this, which is your focus skill. Everyone has one. It's sort of like their class's gimmick. Like the Berserker has Outrage, which is, you know, like a Berserk. It increases your damage, and I think it also makes you take more damage after a while, and stuff like that. Counterattack, Possession. I have Awakening, which makes me able to cast spells very quickly, which is awesome. I can just chain cast stuff. But the next thing you'll notice is this mastery right here. At 10 points, you get the Style Mastery for whatever style you chose. That allows you to learn skills of these others. So after you hit level 10 and have put your 10th point into whatever style you chose at the beginning, you can then choose skills from these as you level up as well. So you're kind of a class at first until you get to level 10, and then you can dip into these if you want. The max level right now is 40. I've been getting 1 skill point per level. I don't know if that stays. I'm guessing it probably does. So you'll end up with a total of 40. It seems like to get to the really powerful stuff, a Flame Tornado, yeah, you'll have to probably kind of specialize. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. For example, if I get here, 15 points in this, I can wear Chain Armor. And do this, of course, I can use like maces and stuff. And, yeah, things like Hammer of Light, I can get like Strike of Ruin. What's the other really cool? Massive Strike. That crazy big slam thing. What's that called? Like Nocturne, I think? Yeah, Nocturne. Yeah, but so you are a class, sort of, but they're called styles in this because they aren't rigid classes, and after you get to level 10, you can dip into the others if you want. There are also respec books that you can get. I've got 2. These Books of Oblivion. The novice one is for level 15 or below, so if I want, I could actually use that and sort of dole out my skill points, which I may actually do before I get to level 16. Alright, so my quest, oh dear, that I have marked right now is up here. I want to go do that. In order to supply, I have to slaughter pigs and poison water jars, which of course is the classy way to do things. So as you're probably seeing right now, there is a bit of variety in the locations, because I was in a plains area, and it had some small forests, and this is more of a tribal jungle kind of area. There are a lot of creatures. These crescent moon deer are near to me, to this area. These hodgers, which are like quillboars, are, they were in the first area as well, but these are different because they can shoot lightning, which is kind of cool. The main draw of this game, hence the name Raiderz, would be things essentially like raiding, like fighting big bosses, and a lot of these things aren't instanced. You can just find them in the world. And other people can just join in if you want to and help you fight it, but they won't receive loot unless like you were the first ones to hit it or they're in your party. We're gonna get past these guys. So big crazy monsters, epic monsters is what it's called, but that is why the game is called Raiderz essentially. I mean, that's the point. Uh-oh. Bombardiers. Alright, so we're gonna get fighting, and that will allow me to show you, or die, the combat system. Yes. Combat is definitely hack and slash. In my opinion, it's better than Terra. It's more responsive, it feels a bit smoother, and there's more variety to your abilities. And each of them are useful, it seems. I mean, I'm using all of the abilities that I've acquired thus far. I can't really say that for Terra. Terra's still fun, but I think I prefer the system in this one. My chat tab does not have my loot. No, not new. I must fix this. I must know my loot. Settings, that would be field chat, I suppose? Field chat. Apply. Will that tell me now? If I loot stuff? Alright, I've got to slaughter these pigs, which is horribly violent. That was easy. Ow. Alright, so I can hack away, or bash away, I guess, with my staff here, which is part of the system, but as a sorcerer, the main thing I'm going to be doing is using my abilities. Ow. I've got lots of them. They do various things, and it's good to learn about each of them. Now, the sort of gimmick of the sorcerer is the fire and ice magic effects that do different things. Alright, as you can see, when I cast a fire magic, I get the fire magic effect, which increases my magic attack. And if I cast an ice magic, I believe the ice magic effect is increased casting speed. Yes, increases casting speed. So with both of those, it kind of encourages you to alternate your abilities. So you're not always using the same things over and over again. You kind of have a rotation that you can go through, but it's not rigid, which is cool. Ow! I can guard, I can block, which isn't the best idea when I don't have a big weapon or a shield and I'm a kind of squishy sorcerer, but it's still fairly effective. It reduces the damage by like a third, it seems like. But the main draw, abilities. Say if I use that, for instance, and then hit him with my ice bolt there, it does a huge boost in damage. Or I could hit him with this ball of ice, and then hit him with this, which will freeze him in place. Yeah, and then I'll hit him with that. So there are various combinations of abilities that do different things, and that's important to learn because, well, you're going to need to utilize your abilities effectively in order to live. You know, if you want to survive, you need to learn what you're capable of. I'm not going to say what your class can do, but what you've spec'd into, the abilities that you can use, and how they synergize. You need to learn stuff like that. So we're going to kill more pigs. There we go. So 3 and then 4, very high energy combo. I've got that, and also a flame impact skill I can combo off of it. That's cool. It's 2 skills that chain together, a la Terra. There are also break-offs of enemies. Items will break off of enemies, and that is a weapon fragment that increases the recovery rate of my stamina, which is what I use for dodging. And if I was a physical class that didn't use the energy, like mana, I would use it for abilities. So, you're dead. Whoa! Fire abilities tend to have higher damage, but a casting time, and you also have to stand still for most of them, whereas ice abilities have longer cooldowns usually, but you can cast them while moving, and they don't tend to have a casting time. Alright, that's all the pigs. I have to poison 3 water jars now. That one's looking at me funny. Those look like water jars to me. Let us poison them. Here you go. So this is a fairly basic quest. Now, the questing, one of Terra's problems, so I'm going to be comparing this to Terra, I suppose, because that's what a lot of people have been doing, so let's just start that off and get the similarities and differences, I guess. The questing in Terra is extremely generic, unfortunately. Now, it helps that the combat system is fun in Terra, but in this game, so far, the questing is a little bit better. It's still fairly generic. There's a lot of go here and kill this, and a lot of kill a bunch of these monsters that drop this and then bring them back to me. This one was a little bit different, which is cool. But it really helps that the combat system in this game is fun. It's really fun, even more fun than Terra, in my opinion. So if I am told, go here and kill these things, well, I want to kill those things, because killing them is fun. So, yeah. Gonna hit this guy with a fireball. No, we're not! Yeah, that was, not good. Hit him with that. Hit him with that. Hit him with that. Lots of damage. Lots of damage. You've got to be dodging and stuff like that when fighting higher level enemies. These guys, they can actually do a pretty significant amount of damage to you anyway, but dodging isn't imperative to your survival unless you're fighting a bunch of them, which can happen. So, the challenge of this game mostly comes from the very fluent combat system, meaning you do have to dodge, you've got to be mobile, especially as a sorcerer or the cleric that can be quite squishy as well until they get like some chain armor going. Die. Ow. I mean, I've died several times already, and that's mostly because, well, it's not easy. But the main challenge is from epic monsters, so bosses, essentially. There are lots of them. Some of them are huge, some of them are just human-sized and are quite difficult, but a lot of monsters have tails and things like that. As you can see, I was able to dodge those bombs because the throwing animation is very obvious, so I can dodge out of the way, and bam, I don't get hit. Alright, actually, it looks like I have to kill some bombardiers, so I've got to kill 7 bombardiers and 2 guards. Again, fairly generic kill quest, but that's okay. What I would like to show you is that boss battle up there. That fight I haven't been able to do yet. I've been soloing this game this far. I haven't grouped up. I've just been killing things myself. And, because people have said that you can do that. That it's hard, but because of the combat system, you can actually solo the bosses, and it's quite fun if you want. So I decided, what the heck, I'll try it. And so far, they've been right. I have been able to solo everything. I've been able to solo Fleetfoot, the big wolf, the big crazy queen terrace spider thing, twice, actually, and all kinds of stuff. But this fight, I lost the first time I tried. Now, of course, when you're soloing things, you want to be a slightly higher level than them, than you would be if you were doing it in a party, because that's how soloing works. And this fight is about my level, so that's probably why I'm having problems with it. I don't expect to beat it this time, but I might as well try, right? So I'm going to pop this up. It's a cool little map here. You have to run around and climb up a thingamajigger in order to get to this boss, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go thingamajigger climbing. Gotta go through here. There is a very heavy focus on crafting in this game, and again, that's something I will show you a little bit later. But of course, the main thing is, you get materials from monsters. You kill bosses, you get their stuff, and you craft things. That's how the game works. The whole game, hence the name Raiderz, is essentially centered around kill monsters, get loot, kill bigger monsters, get materials, craft better loot, kill bigger monsters. That's what it's mostly about, and that's awesome. It's actually a really good model, in my opinion. It's a lot of fun, and I think one of the biggest draws comes from all of the crazy bosses that you're going to be fighting quite a lot. I mean, I've fought several already, and some were optional, some weren't, like the big stone giant thing in the earlier areas, and just all kinds of stuff. Alright, this guy's really hard. If it was just him, it wouldn't be so bad, but he constantly brings in extras. He constantly summons up ads, so I'm going to need to not die. I don't think I'm actually going to be able to do it, but I'm going to try. So do I have any sort of buffs or anything I can apply to help me? I don't have any potions either. I just kind of gotta hit him and live. Well, that sucks. Oh well. I do have some bombs, but those were sort of for a different mission. I can still use them, but they're not particularly strong, and they take a minute to use. That time would probably be better spent casting a spell that would deal more damage. Alright. I guess I could disco him to death. That might work. Okay, here we go. So I can get the first hit in on him with my most powerful single shot spell, which is this fireball here, because it takes a minute to cast. So I'm going to hit him with this a few times, and I'm going to see if he's actually... Yes, he isn't immune to the freezing effect. That's nice. That's very nice. Alright, so I can take advantage of that, which will help. But it gets significantly more complicated when there are like 20 dudes trying to kill you. Oh wow, I'm doing a lot more damage this time. So I got some of his armor as a break-off, which increases my vitality, so I've got more health. Wow, about 300 more health. Oh lord. I'm actually doing very well on him already. I've upgraded my gear massively since the last time I tried, so... Hit him, just slamming him for tons of damage. Wow. I mean, that just goes to show that killing those bosses and getting their gear, that made a huge difference. So that's how important killing bosses is. I went from being unable to kill that guy to that not even being a challenge for me. And I didn't level up since I tried last. That's a big difference. Wow. I was dead by now last time. Holy crap. Alright. Well... He was sort of a mini-boss. I wouldn't call him like a big boss. He also didn't summon any ads on me. Last time I had like 5 or 6 other guys with... Alright, whatever. There is another one, though, that marching general over there. I do want to face him. So let's just hop off here. You do take falling damage, but like most MMOs, falling into water from a massive height doesn't hurt. Also, you can get injured, so if you take falling damage, you usually get a minor leg injury for about 10 to 20 seconds, which decreases your movement speed by like 20%, which is kind of a big deal. Alright, so I'm going to swim over here and try and get that marching general, because apparently my gear is amazing now, and that was not a challenge. Last time, I didn't last about 2.5, 3 minutes or so, and they just slaughtered me. That time, he didn't even get to summon any ads. I killed him before that it was even a problem. Very nice. I'm also close to leveling, and apparently I cannot mount my birdie. Mount up? I can't. You know what? Oh, okay. Whatever, I don't even care. It's like, it's fine. Good, I'm glad. I'm glad you ran away. I'm glad. I don't want your attention either. Alright. We've got to go around here. Go past the miners. Yeah, you're angry. Throw rocks and such. So, as far as the combat system goes, there's a lot of depth because of the fluidity of it, because of the variety of abilities you often have, and the fact that your abilities synergize. So, for instance, if I use that Ice Spike ability, I'm going to want to probably use that Ice Bolt ability after it, because it deals a significant amount of increased damage if I do. Balls! This is the wrong way, of course it is. Oh, hello. That's... Ow. Also, if I use, say, that Ice Orb, I'm also going to want to hit them with either that big ring of ice or the other ice ball, and it will freeze them in place. If I use those two explosions, we're going to want to use the other ability, because that big explosion at the end that does a lot of damage, it can only be done after those two smaller ones. You have to combo them. You can't just use that blast ability on its own. So they synergize very well, and I'm only level 14 right now, so I don't have access to all of my class's abilities, and I'm only spec'd into sorcerer abilities, so I haven't even tried yet to spec into one of the other styles and see if their abilities, you know, how they could affect my battle experience, and that would be a very good idea. So that's cool. While we're here, we're going to turn this in, because it'll probably level me up. Hoppity. Hello, Knight Bastille. Yeah, ooh, and 2 Novice Charms of Life. That's nice. Alrighty. Okay. I've reached level 15. Oh, and there's another quest available to me? Advisor. Hello, Advisor. What do you want? Oh, 2. Hide and Seek. Chief Brevi. Won't have to kill, right? Alright. Find some Watchman's Herbs. Alright, I can do that. And a gift from a niece. As you can tell, all of these menus are also really easy to control with the keyboard. So, instead of clicking that, I can just tap 1. And instead of clicking accept, I can just hit E. So, the interface is really slick. The inventory is very easy to use. Sort's nice and quick. I mean, of course, you can, just like any MMO, you can move all the windows around. I can move the map thing around if I want. I can move any of these around. I can add new chat tabs. I can do whatever. So that's cool. And as far as your equipment interface goes and stuff like that, very easy. Just looks like this. You can have 2 weapon sets equipped at a time. I only have 1 right now, but I want to get like a sword, maybe a shield as well, because I like spell sword type characters, so I might invest in that at some point. But, yeah. So, yeah, we're gonna get over there then. So, skills. I have a skill point. What should I learn? I want to put another point into this because that'll be the 15th one, so that'll unlock this tier of abilities and this mastery, which is 4% magic attack, which is actually a big deal. So what can I get? I can get Intricacy, which gives me more critical hit damage. I'm not really interested in that right now because I don't have high critical chance. I have Meditation, which is an energy restore, which would probably be better at higher levels when I have a lot more energy. Right now it's not a huge deal. I could upgrade the Flame Arrow. That will deal maybe 10% more of my magic attack. That's pretty good. I could upgrade that Big Blast. That's a big difference. Alright, let's do that. From 234% of my magic attack to 270%. That's a big difference, so let's do that. Boom! There we go, I've unlocked that mastery. So now, my next level up I can choose from these. Okay. Kind of wanting to just spec into Sorcerer only for now. There are higher level books of Oblivion that you can get. Alright, let's probably not jump down that way. This is probably a really stupid idea, yep. Okay then. Well, poop. Guess we're just gonna go in this way. Ow. The general guy person is over here. Let's just dismount and clear some of these guys out. Oh wow, that's a big difference. That used to be about as much damage as it did with a crit. Only that was a normal hit on that one. That's good stuff. So, keep moving, keep dodging, keep attacking. And if you want to solo those hard bosses, hello Kitty, I see you. If you want to solo those harder bosses, you've got to keep moving. and it's kind of awesome that you have to be so mobile. Like, for the big spider, that was a pretty hard solo. I had to continually move. If I stopped, it would kill me. I had to move. Same with Fleetfoot. A lot of its attacks have to do with hitting you when you get close to it and things like that, but it also had lots of charging attacks, so you're seeing area effects in a circle, and you're seeing linear attacks a lot of the times, which means if you keep moving, you can dodge them. As you can see, even these arrows, they aren't like a lot of other MMO arrows that you have to like line of sight or something like that. If it fires at me and I move, it doesn't hit me. It doesn't like magically track me unless it's a homing ability. Ow. Ow. I just want to hit you with stuff. Quit it! Die. There we go. Alright. There's the general. He is surrounded by dudes. Great. Alright, so we're gonna try and pull a few of these guys at a time. No crap. Well, too late for that. Oh, I got stunned. Actually, pulling the general out of there isn't that big of a deal. I'm okay with that. Now again, he's probably not going to be like a big boss that I'm going to have to do all kinds of crazy stuff with, because he's not an epic monster, I don't think. He's just sort of a named mob. Oh, they link. Great. I'd like to get off on these big flame orbs, but I probably... Nope. Not going to happen. Boom! Alright. Yeah, not a big deal. These guys aren't too bad. They have fairly high damage, but I don't think I have to worry about them anymore. Again, I'm having a lot better of a time here now that I've taken care of my gear. So killing a couple of things a few times and getting this gear was a very good idea. Alright. Let's go ahead and eat some crab. Nom 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 crab meat. Oh yeah. That's good stuff. Okay. So that's that quest. Now, I've got to turn it in down there anyway, so I might as well head down south here. So, and I can also do gifts from Anise. Oh wait, that's to go to Hero's Lane. That's a completely different zone altogether. So I should probably go do the other quests first, because that is actually leading me out of this zone. So let's, well, you know what? I've been curious about Hero's Lane. Let's just do that. Just for the sake of the video. Okay. I might even show you that big spider to give you an example of an epic monster, because I can't get to the golem right now. There are also some instance areas you can go into that have other monsters, including epic monsters. Like, there are dungeons you can run, and all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah, and apparently the end game, that would be like level 35 to 40, that focuses on instance dungeons called epic dungeons that involve lots of very hard boss fights, and of course, one of the hardest fights in the game, notoriously the Chimera.
Please, give your report.
I've obviously not fought that yet. Alright, now what do you need me to do? Okay. Eliminate a hunter. Right, that sounds like an instance. I see. Alright, well, let's do it. Since she sends me into the instance from right here, I mean, what the heck, might as well. So I hope you're getting a good sort of view of what this game involves. What does that mean? Oh, it's raining. Alright. The way the combat system legitimately affects the game and is one of the main focuses of the game, and you can excuse certain questing weaknesses when the things you're asked to do would normally be very generic, but in this case are very fun. And instead of killing, just kill this monster, a lot of times it's kill this amazing boss monster that's like crazy difficult, and you have to keep moving, and you gotta think, you gotta be awake. So there's no reason not to like that. That's very cool. Alright. So let's get these soldiers out of these traps. We've got to kill some warriors. We've got to... Alright, let's just do this. I've got to eliminate Hunter Yohoma, which I'm guessing probably isn't an epic monster, but is a named mob. Which could be difficult if I'm not careful. Alright. Hit you with that, hit you with that, that, and now you're dead. yeah, it's pretty satisfying to take guys down, and sometimes it is very satisfying, although very hectic and often quite challenging, to take down a whole bunch of enemies at once. If you get mobbed up, you can die very easily, but again, since you can dodge and stay out of the way and stuff like that, it's, I mean, you can really feel very skilled, you know? And also, the dodge isn't like, say, Guild Wars' dodge. As much as I like Guild Wars 2, the dodge works different. It is, the dodging in something like, say, Guild Wars, it gives you immunity frames, essentially. So while you're dodging, you're immune. Even if an attack looks like it physically hits you, it kind of goes through you. However, the dodge in this game is a physical dodge. So just because I'm dodging doesn't mean that it can't be hit. The dodge only works if I dodge out of the way of something. You know, dodge during an explosion and whatnot. Alright, so I'm going to get these guys over here. Gonna have to kill those two that are guarding that soldier. Not a problem. We're going to pull the sorcerer first. For the flame orb. Gonna hit him with this. Alright, we're going to draw them together a little bit if we can. Ooh, that was a nice dodge there. Hit them both. Ow. Pulled an extra. Yeah. You see what I mean by a little bit of satisfying combat there? Yeah, so this isn't extremely high level stuff. But I think you're getting the idea. Ow. Jerk. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll be with you in a minute. I gotta loot stuff. Dang. Also, I gotta start using the other attacks more, because there's like your normal combo, and you can also do like a forward like that, and a backwards leap like that. Alright. And as far as the epic monsters and stuff go, there's often a lot of break-offs, things that will, you know, if you hit them with a heavy impact, things will break off of them. Those crescent deer that you saw earlier, if I hit them with, a powerful ability, their antlers will break off, and I can actually pick them up and they'll heal me. And there are lots of monsters that their break-offs actually can be used by you as weapons. Skeletons, you can take their swords. Some things with a tuna has like one of the most powerful tuna I've ever seen. It's incredible. Dang. So obviously just sitting around and letting him hit me, not a very effective strategy. Which means things with cast times are a problem. Unless, maybe I can hit him with this, and then freeze him. I said, freeze him. Nope, no freezing. Alright, let's hit him with that. Nope. Alright, dodge one of those. Nope, not gonna happen. Alright, now hit him. Crap. Hit him with that. Okay. Now we've got some time. Oh, balls. Ugh, okay. Not too bad. Will this reach that far? Not really. I don't really like him getting so close to these other mobs. I'm gonna actually... I'm going to activate this so I can... This is my awakening, so I can spam these fire bolts without having to sit still for too long. There we go. Alright. Oh, I've got 10 seconds to loot him. Hurry up! Oh, well that was disappointing. Okay. See you later! Alright. Hello. You're welcome. I'll take all that crap, yeah. Alright, so I think as you can see, the leveling isn't actually too grindy. And I mean, it's fun when you're defeating big crazy monsters and things that make you think. When a game challenges you, it's not much of a grind a lot of the times. Okay, we're gonna go up to Hero's Lane. Unfortunately, that's kind of far away. Wish I had a faster MOA. But I've got to complete another quest first. Okay. Gonna quickly move through Goblin territory. We're gonna go into Hero's Lane, and I think that's where we'll conclude the video. So I hope you're getting a general impression of the game. This one stands out for me in a few ways. So the main reasons, I guess, why I like this one a lot more than others. I like it more than Terra because of the combat system, in my opinion, at least, feeling more smooth, a bit more responsive, more varied, and just more fun. It's got more impact to it, and it feels less floaty than Terra. That's in my opinion, and that's in both games playing a magey kind of class. So that's, you know, just take it with some salt or some sort of spice. The environments are kind of interesting so far. I've seen some other crazy stuff. The ruins and stuff in the earlier parts of the games, that's cool. I'm going to go back to some places like that. The enemy variety seems definitely up there. Even the human enemies, they actually use the kind of styles that you can, so there's lots of variety there. Like, those guys right there are actually defenders. And there's lots of berserker enemies. I fought a boss that had a crazy cool big sword and was a berserker and was quite difficult. The questing is probably the weakest part, as far as your standard generic go here do this quests, but when the enemies are fun to fight, and when some of the fight quests actually involve those big crazy monsters often at the end of quest chains and stuff like that, that's awesome. So that's fine. Crafting is very important, and I like crafting. So in this game, you know, you kill an amazing boss and you get some cool parts that only that boss drops. You then go and see what kind of awesome weapon or armor you can craft with it. That's cool. So yeah, those are some of the things, in my opinion, that stick out in this game. It's just the overall experience and the way the game is built around killing big creatures to progress. It's not necessarily about grinding out thousands of little guys. It's about... Oh, looks like my wish is granted for more ruiny areas and stuff. A little darker. But it's more about large enemies, enemy drops, and crafting with unique materials from said enemies and things like that. And also the way that enemies can drop things you can use. I wonder if these skeletons will drop their swords, because they're pretty powerful. Also, let's see how tough these guys are. Oh, they're higher level than me. Uh-oh. That could have been a mistake. They are melee, though. So that should give me a slight advantage. Probably shouldn't have tried to cast that particular spell. Oh, yeah, it's some heavy impact, though. Get some damage going. Ow. So they're actually quite strong. Good to know. Yoink! Hit him and dodge! Oh, when they flash red like that, that usually means a very strong and unblockable attack that you really need to get out of the way of. Alright. Soul Jewel of the Dead. So that's going to be like, yeah, that's the sort of one of the crafting ingredients of this area. So level 16 to 18 weapons and armor, Soul Jewels of the Dead. So enemies around here are going to be dropping those. As you can see, there are other things like, say, these teleport stone fragments. That was essentially the 1 to 11 level version of these. These blue jewel fragments, those were the previous versions of these. So there are also going to be some other types of materials that I'm going to have to craft with, and then some boss level materials that have like the highest level loot of that area. That's kind of how the progression works, and it's refreshing because it's a bit different. Alright, I can do that. Let's try and kill some more of the... Actually, let's chow down on some crab cakes first. I don't know if I can move while doing this, if it'll cancel it. I would assume it probably will. So I'm just going to chill right here for a minute. And then we're going to kill these skeletons. Alright, let's get the first hit on him, because that's a pretty powerful ability. Then let's get ready to freeze him. Stand still. You know you like it. Alright, hit him with that. And with that. You missed! Lol. Oh god. I kind of like their voices, even though I'm not sure how they talk, because they have no organs, but they are a walking bone, so I probably shouldn't really look too much into that. I'd really like for one of them to drop something, but they may not. That actually happens quite often, so I'm somewhat surprised that these guys just aren't dropping anything, because that's not a rarity, like something that barely spices up the combat at all. That's something that happens all the time. And it's really cool, in my opinion, so yeah. There's that. There you go. Slow down. That particular combo does not freeze them. Unfortunate. Uh-oh. Okay, yeah. That sucked. Ooh, these guys do a lot of damage to me, which I suppose is to be expected. Ah! And he just spawned back in over there. Crap. Wait! Getcha! There we go. More bone fragments. Okay, I think we've done enough. I'm sure there'll probably be a quest to kill those guys for someone. there are NPCs this way. So I'm going to go this way so I can show you the crafting interface and how that kind of works. Because I'm guessing some of these guys can probably craft stuff for me. Might as well get to... That's not going to happen. Get to killing a few more of these guys for the experience and for the materials, which I will need. Definitely am going to be needing those materials. Ow, ow. Be slowed, be injured, big damage boost. Please die at some point. Ow, I was hoping to dodge that. I'm taking a lot of damage here. This is not good. Alright, gotta stay mobile. Don't want him to hit me. Cast effects that I can use while moving, and do some of those retreat attacks. Or not, and you're dead. Alright, let's go then. I'd like to eat some more crab meat, but there are lots of things that would probably try to eat me first. So let's do that. Oh, there's some more stuff that I can get. Apparently, I think it's called Mount Eda, EDA. That is one of the end game areas, I believe. Or maybe not end game, but it's definitely an area that a lot of people talk about. So I'm guessing it's either a very repeated thing or is end game. I'm not sure, but just saying that apparently the end game for this is definitely not disappointing, which is good. Fairly good. Is that a mushroom creature? The gray exclamation point means he has quests, but I can't do them yet because I have to do others first. That's what I've learned so far. Yeah, gather this wood. Wood is good for making staves. This place probably uses a higher level version, so ash. Yep. All right, keep going, keep going. Another dead body. But again, gray exclamation point means quest there at some point, not right now. Oh god. Ow, 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 ow. Freeze, son! Why did I do that? I meant to cast that. Whoa, a little bit of warping there. Usually lag is not a problem. I've had some issues before with a little bit of lag, but it only lasted for about 30, 45 seconds or so, and I haven't had that issue ever again. So that might not have even been the game's fault. That could have been on my end because it was so kind of random and it only lasted for a short amount of time. So, and I mean, for a combat system like this, that would be important. So I'm happy to report that for right now, latency has not been an issue for me. Alright, you guys are going down. Energy of Darkness, another one of the crafting materials for this area. Acquired at Heroes Lane. Alright, it is nice that it tells you what the stuff crafts. I mean, not specifically, but it's like, you know, if you're getting crafting materials that are below your area, like below your level in this area, then, you know, you're going to know that you don't necessarily need to keep them, probably. Alright. A board, some other stuff, alright. Yeah, some artisans. Alright, a cloth armor artisan. She is kind of attractive. Alright, so she starts with level 15 stuff and goes all the way up in this area to level 19. Alright, so this stuff is not going to be better than what I have, for sure. No, it's not. I have the Apprentice Knight set. There's the Elementalist set. That is good, but still not as good. So I guess the first set that's going to be better would be the Fleur de Lis set, which is level 18. Yeah, that's definitely better. Alright, what do I need for that? I need Durable Cloth, Energy of Darkness, Soul Jewels of the Dead, Glittering Leaves, and Omphacite. Omphacite in the Contaminated Garden. And that will tell me what enemies drop it. Now this, I believe, is a boss item. Master of the Garden. Yep. So that is an epic monster. So if I want, usually the rare armor, the blue stuff, that is what you need. It will have, usually need 5. So the robe takes 2. Each of these take 1, right? Yeah, 1, 1, 1. Indeed. So I need 5 glittering leaves. So that's probably 1 or 2 kills of the Master of the Garden epic monster. And more than likely a quest line in this place will eventually give me access to that. Oftentimes after you beat an enemy, either it will unlock an instanced version of that enemy that you can go fight and farm, or you can just find it again in the world and try to claim it for your own. That's just how it works. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Miscellaneous trader. What have you got? Do I need to repair any of my stuff? I don't think. If I repair all, it's only a silver. Alright. I've got plenty of return stones. I've got some dust. Don't need any alcohol. I've got some scrap stuff that I can sell, however. Golden Shaman's Mysterious Powder. That is a quest item. And all kinds of stuff that I don't want to sell. I will sell these, however, because I am not a cook. Alright, how much does one of these go for? That's actually quite a bit. Alright, so the crafting materials for this area are fairly valuable.
Best of luck to you.
What can I make at the accessory artisan?
Just what you desire.
Fastero ring. That's a lot of crit. And this is probably magical? Yeah. Alright, so I need 10 bloodstones for either one. Catacomb of the Damned. Alright, so lots of undead things from the catacombs, if I can get access to that area. And I need a soul stone. These are probably from bosses. Yeah. Bastero and Revute, which I'm guessing are probably bosses of the catacombs. So as you can see, this is how the game works. This is what it's centered around. It's centered around this gear progression that isn't about repeating things for a drop rate, but instead is about getting certain very specific things, very specific drops of materials, and then crafting something. So that's kind of cool. I like that. Rod of Nature. I think that's better than what I have unenchanted. So that would be cool. I don't need anything super special for that. I just need the normal drops here. However, the Rod of the Fields I'll probably need, I'm gonna guess, some of those leaves from the Master of the Garden. I knew it! Oh god! Alright. There's also the Staff of the Old Hero, which is actually really good. I need a drop of green blood, 6 of them. Dropped from a couple of things. And then the Phantom Thunder Staff, which is amazingly good, level 19, and I'm going to need some Menelith's Soulstone, which is probably from an epic monster of some kind. So, yeah, I think this is a good place to end it, because you're getting the idea now that I can actually show you the crafting system of what this game is about. This, I mean, it is called Raiderz, so think about it, but everything is centered around this, right here. This is what you're doing. So if you're into that, if you're into the kind of progression that involves fighting big monsters and they're actually really fun and things like that, and I can definitely approve and say that yes, they are very fun indeed, then yeah, I mean, that's what this is about. And it feels cool because you're kind of making your own progress. Yeah, like if I want cool stuff, I gotta go kill something, and then I can make the cool stuff that I want. And also, I think this area is going to be awesome. I like the architecture that I'm seeing and kind of the undead feel and the gloominess of it. I like this area. This is cool. Alright. So, if you're getting the idea, this, my friends, is what Raiderz is. It is free to play. The free-to-play model is very good. In the cash shop, I have seen nothing at all that could be considered pay-to-win. It is all convenience. Experience potions. This scroll is the only thing that's kind of powerful, but it's still not a big buff. Alright, so for a month you get experience, drop rate, enchantment, repair, a teleporter, and a boost to the trade market, which is just what you can list and things. That's it. It doesn't actually make you more powerful. There are the Books of Oblivion, of course, which are respec stuff. Life Stones, which resurrect you. There are a lot of these, which involve the success rate of enchanting, but you can still enchant without them. It doesn't make your enchanting better, it just makes it less likely to fail. And some costume stuff. And a mount, which I kind of want. So yeah, I mean, that's literally it. There's no power that you can buy whatsoever. None at all. It's all convenient stuff. Crafting, in a game where you quite literally have to make your own, you have to make your own way, it makes sense that that's what they would go for. It's just convenience, and I'm very happy to say, report, there is no pay to win. Right. And you can have that, and it leads me to another quest. To deliver the dagger to Caretaker Eugene. Also, there's a sorcerer over here. Strange powder. Oh, this is where that strange powder goes. Alright. Not a problem. Not a problem. Alright. So, my friends, that has been Raiderz. I will link you to the site. Are those ghosts? Those are ghosts. I kind of want to fight a ghost really quick. Ooh. I will link you to the site in the description below this video, and I really hope to maybe see some people in here. If I can, I will very happily make a higher level content video at some point that involves me maybe running a dungeon with the guild I'm a member of. That might happen if people are interested. So yeah, expect to maybe see another bit of Raiderz, because of all of the MMOs that I've covered so far, I find this one really interesting. So yeah, I think that's about all I've got to say. Any requests and things like that, I am very much listening to, definitely. And any negative feedback, I will gladly listen to. The dislike button is there for a reason. I would prefer if you liked the video, of course, but if there's something you didn't like, please tell me about it so I can try and fix it, because hey, I'm aware that constructive criticism does not mean unbridled praise. If someone wants to tell me there's something wrong with my video and then help me fix it, I'm all for that and will not get angry at them. Also, this is a genuinely kind of scary and creepy interpretation of a zombie. Ah. There you go. Yeah, I like this area. This is cool. No. Oh god, hit him. Yeah. This area is kind of awesome. I think his arm should be a break-off, and then I should be able to beat him to death with his severed arm. I think that's what this game is meant. Oh, his arm did come off. I can't pick it up, though. Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, his head fell off as well. Actually, a lot of him fell off. I can pick up his head. However, what does that do? Plagued brain. 30 health. Oh, it's a big health restoration. Cool. And, of course, you haven't seen any break-offs yet that involve me actually being able to use them for stuff, but there are lots of those. There are lots of weapons. One of the first big bosses, which is the crawler, it's sort of like a big crab thing you fight on a beach. It's the last thing you do before you go to Ingen. Sort of like the tutorial area before Ingen. Yeah. And you can actually break off pieces of its armor plating, like its chitinous shell, and use it as like a shield and bash it and stuff. It's awesome. It's crazy good stuff. All right, guys, that is me done for now. I will sleep better tonight. And that has been Raiderz. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Maybe.